Call the monthly Board of Education meeting to order. Can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I have a motion to adopt the agenda. Sam makes a motion, Ms. Rowell second. All in favor, show of hands. Motion carries. Citizen statements.
Thank you, Mr. President. Administration has not received any requests for citizens' participation per Board Policy BDDH.
Thank you. Military update.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. We have some really fun things happening on Fort Leonard Wood. First up, coming on December 2nd, we have an Ugly Sweater Family Fun Run. It's about a 1.5 mile track. Wear your ugliest sweaters, costumes, jingle bells, whole 9 yards, and get some hot chocolate after the race. There will be trophy for all kids that participate. Cards to the community. So community organizations are invited to create a 4x8 Christmas card that will be on display at the Maneuver Support Center of Excellence. Voting will take place at the Christmas tree lighting, which will take place on December 4th at 5:30 p.m. at Misco. On December 12th at 7 p.m. at Nutter Field House, the amazing 399th Army Band will conduct their annual holiday concert, and we invite you all to come out and watch.
Thank you. District announcements.
Thank you, Mr. President. During this season, I just want to take a moment to say thank you to our community for all the support with our students, staff, and district. Your support makes our student success possible. I also would like to take a minute to thank our veterans for their service, including our 70 employees that are also veterans that served our country. Tonight, we're fortunate to have Williams Early Childhood Center here with us tonight, as well as Wood Elementary. We look forward to hearing more about your efforts during the Spotlight on Education. Our students have had several state qualifications and national competitions this month, including the JROTC Mixed Straighters team took 6th place in the nation out of a field of more than 250 teams at nationals. 3 of our culinary arts students, Carson Clubb, Alexandria Holt, and Garrett Johnson, competed in the World Food Championships in Dallas, Texas. Brooklyn Lurcher competed in the state cross-country meet on November 4th. Our 200 medley relay team and the 200 freestyle relay team competed at the state swim meet on Saturday. The medley members were Robert Wade, Jacob Dye, Vitor DeCas, Julian Vargas, and senior Trey Campbell. And then also I'd just like to take a minute to congratulate Kelly Brownfield and Maverick for being named National Service Dog. Maverick reads to students at Thayer, and we appreciate all the support and effort that he provides our district. In athletics, some of you may heard we moved to a new conference. We have now joined the Central Ozarks Conference, and I appreciate the warm welcome the district has received. Our students will have an entire week off at Thanksgiving, beginning November 20th through the 24th. And to help get the holiday spirit started, we have several band and choir concerts, so please check the district Facebook pages for dates of upcoming events. And lastly, the Waynesville Career Center will host the 4th annual Daddy-Daughter Dance at both 2:30 and 6 p.m. on December 9th at the Waynesville Middle School. Tickets are required in advance, and more information is also on our district Facebook page. Thank you.
Thank you. Motion to approve the consent agenda items A through H. Mr. Anderson makes a motion. Do I have a second? Mr. Harn second. All in favor, show of hands. Motion carries. Move the spotlight on education and Williams. Dr. Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr. President, for this opportunity to showcase some of our staff members. The first staff member that we would like to recognize tonight is our certified staff member, and that's Mrs. Allison Sylvester. Was Allison able to make it back? Oh, there's Allison. Yay! Miss Allison had a little one get sick today, so I wasn't sure if she was able to make it back. So Mrs. Sylvester, she teaches one of our early childhood special education classes. She is committed and reliable. She has great attendance, and her kids adore her. I'm so lucky to get to work with such a fun person. Another colleague said, Allison has been a teacher at Williams for 10 years. I've watched her grow the strongest relationships with her students and their families. She works hard to prepare engaging lessons that meet the needs of all of her students. She's a wonderful team member and will help and collaborate and share ideas. Her kind demeanor is one that I know we were so very thankful for here at Williams each day. And then someone said, Mrs. Sylvester is a great, dedicated educator. You can tell she truly cares about the success of her students, and she is always coming up with great ideas and games for her students. She is such a fun teacher, and the kids love her so much. She was the first teacher who welcomed me into the building with open arms and friendliness. She taught me so much. While I was a long-term substitute in her classroom, she taught me the ELK curriculum, visual phonics, and the great activities she did during her circle time. During my first year of teaching, she was one of the many great, amazing teachers we have at Williams that I could ask for any help and suggestions. This building is amazing thanks to amazing teachers like Allison. So congratulations. All right, so this evening we would like to recognize Miss Shirley McGill as our classified staff member. So Miss Shirley has an official job title, but at Williams she is called our queen of all things. She works in our front office. Shirley is the glue that binds the school together. She works relentlessly on any given task, and she keeps current on her regular work and is helpful for the staff, but to the parents as well. She is well liked by the kids, way too loved by the phone, which makes her work so much harder as it always rings. She's a powerhouse, and I have the utmost respect for her. She really deserves to be recognized. And then another staff member said, Shirley's role as a member of the Williams staff goes far beyond her job description. She's an amazing secretary whose compassion for the children and the staff at Williams far exceed the expectations set for her. Shirley knows every child and staff member by name and greets everyone with a smile. She interacts with the Williams families, providing them the attention and reassurance they require as they send their little ones off to preschool. She is a problem solver and a multitasker. She is truly the heart of the building, and I can safely say that this building would not run as smoothly as it does without her and her compassion. One of the best traits she possesses is to know when a smile or a joke is needed to make a challenging day just a little better. She embodies what it means to be a Waynesville Tiger and a Williams staff member. Congratulations. The enthusiasm is never lacking at Williams. That's what makes us great. All right, so for our collaborative team, we are going to recognize a collaborative team B this evening. This collaborative team consists of Mrs. Rodriguez, Mrs. Sazanoff, Miss Eusted, Mrs. Sylvester, Mrs. Thompson, Mrs. Finn, and Mrs. Kramer. We're going to be recognizing their work with the 4-year-olds. This team consists of 2 regular education teachers and 5 special education teachers. So during the first quarter, they grew their students on the standard of recognizes shapes from 56% proficient in advanced to 83% proficient in advanced, just in 1 quarter. To achieve 83% on this standard, this team used Post-it, which is a strategy where the shapes are posted around the classroom and around the building. So I would be negligent if I did not also recognize the paras that work with these fantastic teachers, because these paras provide the one-on-one intervention in the classroom. So I'd also like to just make note of the paras that work with these wonderful teachers. That's Patty Bay Fadgen, Kathy Jo Parrish, Lenice Brown, Cammie Fadgen, Linda Lukritz, Raven Smith, Kylie Humphrey, Gretchen Pewitt, and Sherry Carroll. They make an amazing team. So congratulations to Collaborative Team B and their work with Identify Shapes.
Elementary, Mrs. Schultz.
I know, right? Good evening. My name is Deidre Huggins, and I am the CTA representative for Wood Elementary. And it is my honor and privilege tonight to help recognize our Wood classified recipient. Tonight, I would like to recognize Ms. Donna Murray, our Classified Board of Education Spotlight recipient. Ms. Murray is our English language learners paraprofessional at Wood Elementary. She is a kind and compassionate individual that contributes her time and talents to Wood Elementary. She works very well with colleagues and students and deeply cares for them to be successful. She cares about fulfilling students' needs, not only in the classrooms she works with, but for all of our Wood students. A colleague stated, Ms. Murray is a hard-working woman. She is eager to help in any area she is needed. The students love her, and she is also loved by the staff. She is reliable and has a great work ethic. Along with serving on the Wood Cheers and Climate Committee, Ms. Murray also serves on the Lighthouse Action Team, Adult for Learning. Ms. Murray is a huge asset to our Wood family, and we appreciate her positive attitude and her willingness to go above and beyond. Congratulations, Donna Murray. Thank you for all you do for the students and staff at Wood Elementary.
Good evening, I'm Chris Beecham, and I am the steering representative for Wood Elementary. It is my extreme privilege tonight to recognize Mrs. Deidre Huggins as our Certified Board of Education Spotlight recipient. Mrs. Huggins serves as the Wood Reading Specialist as well as our Lighthouse Coordinator. She gives supportive feedback to teachers for reading interventions and provides research-based strategies for effective reading instruction. She is collaborative and shares ideas for successful reading instruction for students and staff. She is passionate and works tirelessly to ensure students show growth and celebrate success. She builds reading competency in students as that they feel less frustration and more confidence in their reading skills. One colleague wrote, Mrs. Huggins is an exceptional reading specialist for the students. She collaborates with teachers on all grade levels, including the special education team and EL team, to better serve our students. Mrs. Huggins is always willing and ready to provide support for teachers, whether teacher coaching, providing reading resources, or just giving an encouraging word. Mrs. Huggins is a huge asset to our building and our Wood family. She supports our students by providing specialized reading lessons as well as coordinates our student Lighthouse team. She empowers our students to be leaders and to take ownership of their learning. Her smile greets the students every morning, and her positivity lights up our building. As you have heard tonight, Mrs. Huggins is a strong team player and is a huge asset to our Wood family. Mrs. Huggins, from the students and staff at Wood Elementary, thank you for all you do, and congratulations on your recognition as our Certified Board of Education Spotlight recipient.
Good evening. Tonight, the Board of Education Collaboration Team Spotlight is awarded to our 5th grade team, Mrs. Jenna McCann, Mrs. Chelsea Lane, co-teachers, Mrs. Frida Johnson and Jennifer Levengood, and EL, Mrs. Yolanda Salas Flores. These teachers are passionate about what they do. They spend countless hours preparing lessons to ensure that they'll be effective and engaging, as well as differentiated to meet all of our students' needs. The evidence of the 5th grade team's effectiveness is displayed in their student performance data. In math, the 5th grade standard for add, subtract, multi-digit, whole numbers, and decimals, the team grew their overall students from 4% to 90%. They grew their special education focus group from 0% to 75% and grew their English learners from 0% to 100% using that strategy, stacking place value. Utilizing their training in the PLC process, that has contributed to the 5th grade team closely monitoring their students' focus groups data to ensure that reading for all students in the classroom is effective. The 5th grade teachers collaborate with the EL and co-teachers to identify learning barriers and ensure students receive core learning opportunities. A colleague wrote, Mrs. Lane and Mrs. McCann
are an incredible duo who work together consistently to create constructive and supportive learning environment for their 5th grade students. By using their student data, they personalize teaching to meet their students' individual needs and strengths. Over the years, they've learned to combine their strengths and skills to create an effective learning environment for students. And along with not only each other, they both are open to sharing leadership with the EL and co-teaching team for the success for all students. Tonight, I have the privilege and honor to recognize the 5th grade team and co-teachers to receive the Board of Education Spotlight for Wood Elementary.
Okay, we'll move to Transportation Employee of the Month, Mr. Tronstad.
All right, so good evening. I'm here to recognize the November Employee of the Month. One thing I like to do, besides his recognition, is getting to know Mr. Kofelt. He's worked for the school district for 12 years, started out as a crossing guard for us, is now a special needs bus driver. And just a little backstory, when I was a mechanic and we would have our annual inspections there, we would have buses coming off of routes and going right into bays, and it's pretty much organized chaos. And for me, being in charge, I had to have somebody out there to coordinate that, which requires somebody that can multitask and just kind of one of them deals. If anything that I ever asked Glenn to do, I knew it was going to get done. It was going to get done well. He was on the perfect attendance for this last quarter. He's always on the radio helping out whenever needed. It's kind of one of those, when you want to build a team of all-stars, they can't all have the same gifts. And one thing I can say about Glenn is he's dependable. He's always been there when I needed him. And he's just an all-around great guy. And so I'm very happy to have Mr. Kofelt as part of our team and get an opportunity to recognize him tonight. So I would like to thank you, Mr. Kofelt. He is and like I always say, I would like to thank Mr. Kofelt for choosing transportation, for making a difference in children's lives every day.
Well, congratulations again to Williams, Wood, and Transportation for your awards tonight. And we'll move to Ms. Goforth.
Thank you, Mr. President. This month, the district would like to recognize the Salvation Army for its donation of $7,400.52 to Snack in a Pack. This money was used to purchase supplemental food that is sent home with students each weekend. Representing the Salvation Army this evening are Danny Graves, Honorary Chair, Don Murray, Co-Chair, and Cheryl Vernon, Team Lead. Thank you for your continued support of the Waynesville School District and our students.
Okay, we'll move on to the discussion. Special education update, Dr. Washington.
Go Niners! No, I'm kidding. Thank you, Mr. President. Tonight I have the privilege of going over our special education program and giving an update about some things that we're doing with our program. My office oversees many different areas, being a director of special services. For our special education program, we service about 1,200 students on IEPs and around 350 students on 504s. We also oversee the gifted program. We have almost 200 students in our gifted program, and then our new program for students who didn't quite make the criteria, but we want to service them and give them some accelerated opportunities. We have 16 students in that program. Our EL is our English learners, and we have around 250 students in that program with about 39 languages spoken in our district. Spanish is our most prominent language out of our different languages. And then I also oversee the alternative education program. We have 40 students in our alternative school, which is part of the middle school, and we have roughly 80, although Ms. Mitchell said she enrolled 4 more today, so roughly 84 students at Perimeter. Part of our special education staff, and I've put it down by duties, we really couldn't do this without them. They do an amazing job providing services to our students, from our 69 special ed teachers to our 125 paraprofessionals in the district. We have 10 and a half speech pathologists along with assistants. We have occupational therapists. We have occupational therapy assistants. We have physical therapists and physical therapist assistants. Our special services secretaries who help us greatly in the buildings, along with our process coordinators who handle building level special education needs. Really, it takes this entire team in order to provide the quality of services that we offer for our students. Every year, our special education program is rated by DESE, Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, and they rate from a 1, which is the lowest, to a 4, which is the highest, and I'm proud to say our program received perfect scores in all areas. And I contribute to all the staff who work hard every day with our students. We couldn't do this without them, so great accomplishment. Our special ed district profile is a breakdown of the students in our district who receive special services. It has the total number, this is the last December 1 count, of 1,207. And you'll see that our students who we service, our highest are students with other health impairments, followed closely by specific learning disabilities. And then our third highest is students with autism, and then we service 157 students with speech impairment. So this is a breakdown of the 16 disability categories in the state of Missouri and what each student qualified under for our total amount, so we can get a good visual of the needs of our students. Special ed referrals, our district assessment team has been busy, which is great. We're finding children under Child Find who need special ed education services and qualify. Last school year, we evaluated 378 students kindergarten through 12th grade, and out of those, 298 students qualified. So we grew by almost 300 special education students with a 79% qualification rate, which means things that they suspected they did qualify for services. And that rolls us into early childhood special education, also a very busy year. We had 80 special education referrals, and out of that, 78 students qualified, which is a 97.5% qualification rate, which is really good because it means the referrals were spot on, so great job there. In our district, we offer a variety of services for our students, and I'm very blessed to have such great program opportunities at the building levels. The buildings do a great job of looking at the needs of the students and making sure they're in their least restrictive environment. for our co-taught setting, which keeps our students in special ed in the general ed classroom with a certified teacher and also a special education teacher. We offer 82 sections of this across the district, kindergarten through 12th grade. Another option we have is SI. In the world of special ed, there's a lot of acronyms, so I'll break it down so you guys know what I'm talking about. But SI is specialized instruction, and that's a special ed setting, which is considered a special ed location. And then CrossCat is typically what we call that at the elementary level. And again, it's a special ed setting. We have 85 sections of that. For our students who need some more intensive supports, we have our CSS rooms. And CSS stands for Communication, Sensory, and Socialization, and is for students who need supports primarily in those areas, which is preventing them from having more minutes into the general ed classroom. So we work with those strategies and then to help integrate them into other placements. And then for our most intensive students, we look at homebound placements or placement at discovery schools. So we have a variety of placement continuums that we're able to offer based on student need. Our graduation rate has increased for our students with special needs, and I'm pleased with the progress. There's still work to be done, but we've went from a 67.31% to an 83.67%. And this is strictly looking at students with IEPs and graduation. And then Section 504s for our students who qualify under that. I won't read all that to you, but just it's under Office of Civil Rights, and it's for students who have a physical or mental impairment that limits their a major life activity. So it's different than an IEP where there's not different placements, but we do offer accommodations for students who qualify under Section 504. I had put 319, but we've had some more, so we're roughly around 350 Section 504s in our district. And one quick thing I wanted to highlight is our community-based instruction, and this runs out of the high school, and it looks at putting students in non-school environments and teaching those functional skills that they'll need once they graduate. It's ran by our very own Miss Stephanie Peace, who was awarded the Missouri Transition Leader for the state. And through her program and our program there at the high school, they run Tiger Joe, which many of you I know enjoy some great coffee there, and many other places in the community our students work at to gain some really good job skills and then learn what they're interested in and what they want to do once they graduate. We're always adding to this list. If you're a business or an organization out in our area, we would love to partner with you to have our students come and work and learn some great job skills. Here's some on the site pictures of our students at different job skills, having a great time and learning some great skills. And I appreciate all of the support for our students in special education. Thank you guys so much. Any questions?
I just have a comment for Dr. Washington. As one of the businesses that is involved with that CBL program, it's always been handled really professionally, and the students are always so positive, and it's also very, very rewarding for our team in order to help them learn a skill outside of school. So thank you for doing that. I know it's extra work, so.
Yeah, no, thank you for partnering with us. We appreciate that.
I did have one question, Dr. Washington.
Sure.
Over the past couple of years, you've seen significant increases in the graduation rate of these students. Is there anything specific you attribute that to?
You know, I think, and I will have to go back to like our CBI program and just kids feeling like they're involved and part of a team. And, you know, we see that with the graduation rates going up where they don't feel isolated or like, you know, if they miss school, you know, they get phone calls like, where were you? We missed you. So I think all the way down, it starts at the elementary level. We're doing a really good job of students feeling like they're included and they're involved, and I think that helps them work toward their goals of graduating. And also then they see, hey, there's opportunities. If I graduate, I can work in this business or I can do this. So I think we've done a really good job of that, and we'll just keep doing that as we go along. Thanks.
Any other comments? Thank you, Dr. Washington.
All right. Thank you.
Job descriptions, Dr. Goforth.
Thank you, Mr. President. The following attached proposed job descriptions are presented for your review as a first reading. 4.12.1 Library Secretary, 4.22.3, maintenance worker, skilled tradesman, electrician. Administration will request approval at the December Board of Education meeting.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions? All right, we'll move to course description. Dr. Atkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. Attached are the recommended changes to the WHS course description book submitted by Dr. Witt, Waynesville High School principal. These changes will be brought for approval at our regular December Board of Education meeting, and if approved, will become effective with the 24-25 school year and utilized in the upcoming scheduling process.
Any comments or questions? Thank you. Proposed procedure addition to policy KNAJ. Dr. Goforth.
Thank you, Mr. President. The following attached new procedure, long-range rifle guidelines for policy KNAJ, relations with law enforcement authorities, is presented for your review as a first reading. The administration will request approval at the regular December Board of Education meeting.
Any comments or questions? All right. Thank you, Dr. Goforth. Moving to action item, job descriptions. Dr. Goforth.
Thank you, Mr. President. The following attached proposed job descriptions are presented for your review as a second reading. 4.06.1, transportation head mechanic. 4.06.2, bus mechanic. 4.08.3, project bid specialist. 4.08.4, accounting specialist. 4.08.5, payroll benefits specialist. 4.08.6, purchase accounts payable specialist. 4.12.3, school building special services. Administration requests approval of these as presented.
Have any comments or questions? Do I have a motion? (2023-2024) certified and classified ESEP plans. Dr. Goforth.
Thank you, Mr. President. The 2023-2024 Certified Early Separation Incentive Plan, Certified ESIP, and 2023-2024 Classified Early Separation Incentive Plan, Classified ESIP, are presented for your review and consideration. The administration requests approval of both the 2023-2024 Certified ESIP and 2023-2024 Classified ESIP as presented.
Any comments or questions? Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Charter makes a motion. Do I have a second? Mrs. Rowell, second. All in favor, show of hands. 7-0, motion carries. John T. Belcher nominee selection. In 1990, the Missouri School Board Association established this student scholarship program in memory of John T. Belcher, who was instrumental in developing the financial programs for Missouri school districts. The learning environment of thousands of Missouri's public school students has improved as a result of his work. Presently, Future Builders, MSBA's educational foundation, supports the program, which awards close to $15,000 in scholarships to students in the MSBA's member districts annually. A $750 scholarship is awarded to a winner in each of the MSBA's 17 regions. From that group, a statewide winner is selected and receives an additional $750. The applicants are judged on the basis of academic performance, extracurricular activities, and the quality of their essay. The board has chosen Rebecca Ville to be the nominee for our district region. Do I have a motion to approve? Mr. Anderson makes a motion. Do I have a second? Ms. Rowell, second. All in favor, show of hands. 7-0, motion carries. Proposed policy revision, Mrs. Bills.
Thank you, Mr. President. Administration is requesting the attached revision to policy KKB, audio and visual recordings. No comments or suggestions were received, and administration is asking for adoption and approval at this time, please.
Okay, do I have a motion? Mrs. Rowell makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Lurcher, second. All in favor, show of hands. 7-0, motion carries. Board candidate filing dates, Mrs. Bells.
Thank you, Mr. President. I can't believe it's that time of year again. Board candidate filing dates for the April 2nd, 2024 general municipal election are Tuesday, December 5th, 2023 through Tuesday, December 26th, 2023. Candidates may file at the superintendent's office during their regular office hours of 7:30 a.m. through 4:00 p.m., except for the first and last day of filing. Filing will not occur on days that the school district central offices are closed due to inclement weather or other health-related reasons, making it unsafe for school staff to travel. Filing will also not occur on the following holidays and breaks when the school district central offices are closed: December 22nd and 7:30 a.m. to 3:00 p.m. on December 26th. Filing will end on December 26, 2023 at 5:00 p.m. There are 2 positions available with a 3-year term. Mrs. Janelle Rao and Mr. Paul D. Schultz II currently hold the board member positions that will be open.
Any comments or questions? Do I have a motion? Mr. Harns makes a motion, Mr. Anderson second. All in favor, show of hands. 7-0, motion carries. Closed session, closed record, closed vote is allowed by RSMO 610.021, Section 3, hiring, firing, discipline, or promotion of employees, and Section 13, individual personnel records, performance ratings. Do I have a motion to enter into closed? Mr. Quinn makes a motion, Mr. Rouse second. Roll call vote, please. Start with Mr. Lurcher.
Yes.
We're in closed.